Ever get that feeling like when a business just seems to miss the mark? Like they're so busy trying to look good, they forget about the actual customer experience.
Totally. Yeah, it's like this weird disconnect between image and substance.
Exactly. And that's kind of what we're going to dig into today through this one guy's experience in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So we're talking about Bakit Amri.
Omri, all right. And what's the story here?
Well, he's got this really interesting background, studied computer science in the U.S., then went and studied law in Saudi Arabia. So talk about a blend of perspectives.
Yeah, definitely not your average take on things, I'd imagine.
Right. So he's got this unique vantage point on like business practices, both globally and within Saudi culture. And recently, he had this experience at a chain gym in Saudi Arabia that really got people talking.
So what happened? Did the treadmill break down mid-workout or something?
No, no, it's way more interesting than that. It's about towels.
Towels. Towels. Okay, now you've got my attention. What's the deal with the towels?
So get this gym, right? It's a big chain, locations all over. They only give you one towel.
One towel for the whole workout.
One towel for the sauna, the steam room, and then, you guessed it, the shower.
Oh, wow. That's something.
Right. And for Omri, it wasn't just like, oh, that's inconvenient. He felt like it was unhygienic. Especially, think about it, in Saudi culture, personal hygiene is a really big deal.
Right, right. I see what you mean. So there's like a cultural layer to this whole thing too.
Exactly. And that's where his whole point gets really interesting. He sees this one towel policy. It's like a symptom of this bigger pattern. Like these big gyms, they're all about the image.
The image, yeah. So they're selling exclusivity, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like maybe even to a fault. Like they're so focused on looking exclusive that they forget about the actual needs of the people who are paying to be there.
It's like, are they selling a service or a feeling?
That's a good question. And you know what else Omri pointed out? This whole minimalist thing, especially with hygiene, it's like, hello, COVID, anyone?
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other layer of yikes.
And get this, Omri, he actually got a refund for his gym membership.
He got a refund.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. He even took a picture of the check. He was so surprised because apparently it's like unheard of to get a gym refund there.
Wow. I mean, that really makes you wonder about like the whole consumer culture there, right? If getting your money back from a gym is like a newsworthy event.
Totally. But here's the thing. For Omri, it wasn't even really about the money. He talks about these smaller gyms, like the locally owned ones in Saudi Arabia, and it's a completely different story.
Hmm.
And he's like, these places are cleaner, way more affordable, and like they're actually part of the community, you know?
Yeah, yeah, totally. It's like they actually care about the people who come in.
Exactly. Places where I'm guessing they give you two towels.
Right, at
Mhm.
least two. So it's really interesting, like, his whole story just kind of highlights this trend we're seeing, right? The shift away from these big impersonal businesses and more towards something, well, smaller, more authentic. And hey, if it's happening in the fitness industry, who knows where else it's going?
It makes you think, right?
Mhm.
Like all that stuff Omri was talking about with these big gyms, the high prices, the whole less is more thing, but not in a good way. Maybe it's backfiring.
Yeah, maybe. Like, are people finally getting tired of paying more for less?
Right. Or maybe it's more than that. Like, are people starting to value authenticity more than a brand name?
It's a good question. I mean, it makes you think about your own choices, you know? What are you willing to compromise on, and when do you say enough is enough?
Totally. Like, are we supporting businesses that actually reflect what we care about? Even something as everyday as taking a gym. It's like Amari's little towel saga. It seems kind of, I don't know, insignificant at first.
Yeah.
Right. But when you really dig into it, it makes you think about what we value and how the choices we make every day, well, they kind of shape the world around us.
Absolutely. It's a good reminder that every choice we make, the businesses we support, even the things we just accept without really thinking about it, it all means something. And hey, sometimes those little things, they can spark a much bigger conversation.
And push us to demand better,
Yeah.
even in the most unexpected places.
Exactly.